change things in this country because we're being suffocated. We're being squashed. People can't survive anymore. They can't live. They've destroyed the currency of this country. The cost of living is through the roof because they destroyed the currency. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, and it'll show you how devious and how evil these people really are. Okay? I was friends with one of the Rockefeller family, and his name was Nick Rockefeller, and he got my attention when I was running for governor of Nevada. And I was saying lots of things that I guess they didn't like, and he wanted to befriend me to try and get me to change over. And they asked me to join the Council on Foreign Relations and other things. You know, offered me to build the Baywatch nightclubs, and they would help me do that and pay for everything and all this stuff. And I wasn't into that. And anyway, one night we were talking, and he said to me, "Aaron, what do you think Women's Lib was about?" Women's Lib, what do you think it's about? And I had the very conventional thinking, and I said, Women's Lib was about women having the right to work like men do, and having the right to equal pay with men, and I think it was a woman's rights issue. And he looked at me and he said, "You know what? You're an idiot." And he was joking when he said that. He was laughing. I said, "What was it about then? What do you think it was about, you know?" I said, "Aaron, we, the Rockefeller family, financed the whole Women's Lib movement. You understand that?" I said, "No, I didn't understand it then, but I understand it since you told me." And he said, "Why do you think we financed it? Why do you think we promoted it in all the newspapers and magazines and television shows?" And he said, "You know why? Because before Women's Lib, we could only tax half the population." And then he said to me, "You know what the second reason was?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Because now, men working and women working, they have to send the kids to our schools. And we get to train the children how to think, how to indoctrinate the children how to think from an early age.
I knew it.
And we break up the family home. And the family doesn't teach the kid morals anymore. You see, we break up the home. That's what they want. The state to control everybody. And to teach people from a young age how to be controlled, to accept control, without thinking twice about it. Think back to the Social Security number. When that was first made law, it said right on the card, not to be used for identification. Right on the card. That's what it said. Doesn't say that anymore, does it?
Right.
They do things in increments. Like the frog in the pot. You know about that?
Yep.
Okay, so you take that frog, for the people who don't know, you take that frog, you throw him in the pot of boiling water, he's going to jump right out. But if you put him into warm water, and you slowly turn the heat up, he stays there till he boils to death. Well, we're the frogs. And we're boiling to death. We're here. And they control us. President Bush is now trying to get powers to put, and he has it already, some of it, to put Americans in jail indefinitely. That means life. Without a trial, without a jury, without anything. American citizens. How much more are we as a people going to allow? When are we going to stand up and say, I'm not going to take this crap anymore? When are you going to do that? Why do people in Serbia or Bosnia stand up and fight, and the people in France stand up? We've become so soft.
Because so many supported him and voted for him.
I'm sorry?
So many supported him and voted for him.
But the thing is, this is what you have to understand. It's not President Bush. Well, who's in charge of the bankers? They control President Bush. They control Hillary Clinton. They control Bill Clinton. They control John Kerry. It's all the same. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's all coming from the banks, the bankers, the Federal Reserve System. That's where it's all coming from.
Illuminati.
You know, so the way to stop it is to shut down. Look, the Federal Reserve System is a tool for them to take power over us. If we should, because the men behind the Federal Reserve System are the real power. But without that tool, they can't do what they're doing. We have to shut down the Federal Reserve System. Imagine Barry Bonds trying to go hit a home run but he didn't have a bat. Okay? You can't do it. No matter how good a hitter he is, he needs his bat. They need the Federal Reserve System to make the money to buy the politicians. They can make all the money they want out of thin air, out of nothing. Okay?
That's what Jacob Rothschild said. He said, if I can control the money, I don't need no law.
Whoever makes the money makes the rules. You know, so that's the situation we're in today. Now, I want to introduce Bill Walls, Doc Walls.
Right.
He's going to be the next mayor. I am supporting this campaign. You know, Doc Walls, please come say hello, and then I'll take some questions. And he's so handsome, too.
I understand the theater is asking us to dismiss because...
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have another showing, and we want people to see this movie. This is my third night here. I was here Friday, I was here yesterday, and I'm here today, and it's always good to look into the faces of people who care about our freedoms, who care about America, and just to know that you are willing to come out and see a movie like this, and that you're going to go home and tell all of your family and your friends about this movie, and urge and encourage everybody to come and see it, because that is the only way this movie will ever get to general release throughout the United States of America. It's important that people see this movie and understand that we're at the same point that we were at in 1774 when 13 colonies decided that they didn't want to be controlled by a foreign entity. We're at that same position. We have to make choices. The movie said it best. Resist, resist, resist. And if we all stand up, even the nucleus of us, and resist, as Cliff indicated, they didn't care. If you resist, they cannot herd you off.
Right.
So let's be mindful of that. Now, I'm not going to continue talking, but I do want to indicate that the discussion will continue at Borders.
Right across the street.
Right across the street. And everybody is welcome to enjoy the discussion. Give Aaron a round of applause, please. Cliff Kelly, keep it going with Cliff Kelly. Guys like Grant Smart, Paul DeVito, and that's what it takes.
I just want to mention that I'll be talking about this tomorrow, but make sure everybody gets one of these. Aaron's going to say one other thing, but I just want to make sure. The first time I took a trip and noticed that on my cell phone, when I got to my destination, my cell phone had changed automatically. As I went from one time zone to another, the phone changes. I think when they're slapping these kids on the butt now when they're born, they're probably sticking a chip you know where.
Let me just say one thing. I'm going to go across the street and talk to everybody across the street at Borders.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say,
Yes.
I know some of you are leaving. Please, we don't have the funding of a big movie studio. We can't buy the advertising time and the television time and newspaper and radio like they can. The only way we're going to succeed is by you talking about it, is by word of mouth, by getting on the internet and spreading this through the internet. It's critical for us. You get people to come to this movie theater and watch this movie. It's critical that they do. Because we can't compete with the big studios. We can't compete with the big corporations that are backed by the Fed. We can't do it. So we need you. Remember something. Without our cooperation, they can't do anything. So you don't cooperate with them. You don't accept a national ID card. Okay? You don't accept it. We will not. You know, without our cooperation, the government has nothing. So you have to wake people up, educate them, so they know they can't cooperate with the way the government is functioning today. We have to stop it. I'll see you across the street. You know, Fox News says 83% want this or whatever. You don't know what the reality is. It doesn't matter. You have rights as a person. So secure your rights and stop cooperating with the government. And they're taking your rights away. Don't allow them to do that. And what we have to do is get millions of people together who are willing to stand up and say, I'm not going to take this anymore. You can't do this to me. You're my servant. I'm not your servant.